Oh, got it?
The content of this meeting is being sent through a third party.
Yep, we're good. That's good news. We're live.
I think you're going to be there long.
Third party.
Yep, we're good.
Looks like I'm here for you.
We're live. Hello. Are we live? Hopefully we're live. Hey.
We got it.
Only 8 minutes late.
Of course, the technical difficulties kick in as soon as we...
I know. Always, always. But we're here.
We're here. It's been 30 days.
Yeah. Thank you guys for waiting, being patient over the past month and right now.
If you guys didn't know what's going on, let's get you caught up really quick. So, Up Paint Company and Furniture Flipping Teacher got together to give away $3,000, $1,000 to 3 individual people. And
throughout the competition, we also decided to up the ante a little bit too. So not just the first place winners are winning something. We also have some other prizes as well.
Second place, are we telling them?
Well, they already know. Second place runner-up gets a $150 gift card to uppaint.com.
As we got to talking a little bit with the team at Up Paint prior to going live, we decided, you know what? It's the new year. Why don't we throw a little loop, a little wrench in the what is it, in the tire? How do they say it?
I don't know.
Let's throw a wrench in these things, and let's give away another prize to our third place contestants as well.
Mention.
The honorable mention as well. So now first, second, and third place are all getting some goodies, but this has been quite the journey, would you say?
Right. It definitely has. It's been over the holidays. Yeah, all of that. I think got my schedule.
I think our absolute expectations for this competition were blown away. We had over 125 entries in total.
Yeah.
With the holidays, with the cold weather, you guys showed up. There was no excuses from a lot of you. And man, did you make it quite hard for us to make a decision.
We had to keep pulling people in to help us make the judgments on these pieces. I mean, the competition was awesome.
But nonetheless, this has been a fun 30 days. So we are going to jump right into it. We've got some announcements to get to. We've got some special words from a few special people that will be joining us on the live. And then we're going to get right into announcing our winners and finalists and all of that jazz.
Yeah. So in the chat, if you have anything that you want to share with any of us, like, we just want to make sure that it's all encouraging and we're all here to support each other. We don't want any negativity here on the live stream. So I just want to set that expectation straight up. I'll be the teacher here. And sure. I will say that because that's what it's all about. The furniture flipping community, ever since I got into it 3 years ago, it's been nothing but love and support for everyone. And that's another thing that this competition was all about.
Yeah.
We really got to see some people firsthand, like meeting other flippers that maybe they wouldn't have met before this competition. And so that was kind of something that was drawn out of hosting the competition that I never even thought of that as something that might happen. So that was really neat to see. But anyway, we want to continue the support a lot across the board.
Yeah. And as you guys know, there were over 100 entries. Everybody can't be a winner, but I will just sit here and say, out of the gate, you guys everybody who entered did a absolute phenomenal job. And I think one of the inspiring stories that I remember hearing was, you know what? I haven't flipped a piece of furniture yet, but your YouTube channel, I've been watching, I've got all the knowledge, and you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And I don't remember who it was specifically, but that was just inspiring to see and hear. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Are there any comments that my parents are in the background? They're helping us out. So shout out to mom and dad down below in the comments. Are there any? They're moderating the YouTube comments for us. So it's okay if there's not anything. Mom's a little nervous.
Everybody's just saying how happy they are to be here. They're really excited, waiting for the results. Wow, 125 entries. Um,
Awesome.
ready to get going. Been waiting a month for this. So exciting. Telling us what states they're from.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining in the chat. And then throughout, if you want to comment anything, we do have the moderators. So go ahead and do that. And we'll kind of take pauses every so often. So do we want to do...
Tell us a little bit about Furniture Flipping Teacher and how you found yourself right here in this moment. Really quick.
All right, like the 10-second version?
Yeah, 30-second elevators pitch.
All right. I was a teacher. COVID hit. I needed something to do. I got into furniture flipping and I flipped my parents' kitchen table. Loved it. Started selling pieces on Facebook Marketplace. Decided to start a YouTube channel in November of 2020 with Neiman behind the camera. That took off in December. We were able to earn enough money to pay off my student loan debt in April of 2021. And then we just kept going. I resigned from being a teacher in May. That was my last year. And so we went full time on YouTube, on Furniture Flipping Teacher, like all things Furniture Flipping Teacher. And then in September of 2023, we ended up finding this amazing storefront. And so we went ahead and signed the lease, and we opened on November 4th for Fournier Furniture Co. So that's what you see behind us, is our furniture showroom. And then back there, if I can see it, back there, whatever. There's a workshop, 1,000 square feet workshop that we now are so blessed to flip in. And we just want to be an encouragement to you that whether you are looking to get into something full time or just earn extra money or have a creative outlet, it doesn't even have to be about money. Maybe you want to flip stuff for your own home because you don't have like a huge budget to go out and grab brand new furniture. Maybe you just love secondhand stuff. Whatever it is, we just want to be an encouragement that furniture flipping can honestly be like life-changing. It doesn't seem like it, but if you love it as much as you do, or as much as I do, and have grown to love, then anything is possible if you put your head and your mind to it.
Let's quickly say Chad's in the chat, kind of responding. Chad's on behalf of the UpPaint team.
Yeah, so if you see Chad down below in the YouTube comments, he is a part of the UpPaint team. And so he can answer any of your questions about UpPaint specifically.
And then we have Mom and Dad, like you said, moderating and adding comments from FFT. Just really quick, what made you decide that you wanted to work with UpPaint on a furniture flipping competition?
Well, I had seen UpPaint being used by a couple of other creators, and I enjoy trying new products, whether it's new to the market or just new to me, and then sharing them with you guys, especially if I really enjoy the product. And when I first used UpPaint, I was very surprised by the product because it's a chalk paint, but it doesn't really go on like a chalk paint to me. It was very self-leveling. I just loved it. I loved working with the company. And so, once we got to work together that time, we kind of put our heads together to figure out how we could also include you guys in showcasing the new paint company and just really help get their name out there. They're a newer company. The paint comes from recycled paint, and you'll hear about that in just a minute. But that's kind of how this all started, and it was all very quick because we were all so excited about it, but we had the storefront that was happening as well. And so we kind of decided to just go for it in the holiday season. And that is another reason why we're so thrilled with the turnout, is because we know it was like a month long in the holiday season, December, all the way into the new year. And we know that you guys are busy. We know that the weather's not ideal in most places. So that was really awesome too. But that's kind of how the competition came
So
about.
everybody harass Chad in the comments to do a round 2 in the summertime so we can have more people in there. Go after him. Okay, let's move into
Just come over here since you're not even doing anything over there.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
We need to.
All right. So if I'm
We've
over
got
here,
our
I'm
little
taking over.
agenda so that we don't get
With
off track.
that being said, we are going to move in, and we have one special guest, especially, who's going to be joining us to help us make a decision today. She has been an inspiration to you, a friend of yours, and there's definitely good reason why we're bringing her in, because her work speaks volume for itself.
For sure.
So with that being said,
Yeah, we're gonna welcome Bria on. Bria Shade, and her Instagram, everything is at Bria Shade. So if you guys don't follow her already, make sure that you go follow her, but wait till after the live so that you can make sure that you don't miss anything on it. So hi, Bria.
Hi, Lauren. And hi, everybody.
How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of your guys' competition. I think what you guys are doing is so cool, and it's just surreal being here.
Awesome. We are so excited to have you on, and thank you so much for being our guest judge. So like Neiman said, one of the reasons why I wanted to come on or have you come on and be a part of it is because I admire your style, and I thought that you have a keen eye for like great furniture artists. And so I knew that it was going to be tricky choosing somebody out, but I knew that you would be the perfect person to help us. And then I've also know that you've worked with Up Paint as well. So what's your kind of take on Up Paint and how, like, your view on their company and all of that jazz?
Yeah, well, as a furniture flipper, I love taking things that are heading towards the landfill and giving them a whole new life. And that's exactly what Up Paint does. They take paint that's used and probably heading out, and they recycle it to something completely new for us to use. So I just think that Up Paint is like the furniture flipper's best friend. But even beyond that, I mean, you can use Up Paint on so many things. So I think they're great, and just the team behind Up Paint is incredible. So yeah, I think it's really cool that they're entering into this world of furniture flipping.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more on, especially the part that you hit on. You know, it's one thing to have a great product, but then it's another thing to have great people who are behind the company, and like, you know, that they're not just out to get the next big buck, but like they actually care about their creators, but then also the customer, the consumer, and the world at the end of the day, because of the recycled aspect. So can you tell us just briefly a little bit about your like background in like how you got into furniture flipping, your story a little bit?
So yeah, I started furniture flipping in 2021, and it's the reason this is so crazy to me is that the reason I started furniture flipping, and you know this already, is because I watched one of your videos, and I was trying to find something to do from home while I had my newborn, and so searching YouTube, trying to figure out what to do, and your videos of you ripping the skirts off of your chairs popped up, and I spent that night. I was up with my newborn, so I spent that whole night binging your videos, and that just it lit a fire in my body, and I just started flipping furniture ever since, and eventually got on social media, and I love it. It's a passion of mine, and it's really cool meeting you and talking to you and becoming your friend. Like, it's just the craziest thing. So that's kind of a backstory and how I got into this space.
That's awesome. It's like kind of like a full circle moment. My mom's crying back there.
I want to turn the camera around.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think I don't even remember, but I think if I remember right, you like followed us, and then we had seen we like looked on your page and loved what you were doing, and then reached out, and and then you told us your story. But I tell Neiman time and time again nowadays, like, that your work inspires me, like whether it be your furniture flips, but also like your content. I think that you're a great storyteller, and I'm just like really like on that side of things, I guess like I look up to you. So kind of a full circle moment, like I said.
We're back.
But anyway, sorry. We like it was a full circle moment, and we're super glad to have you on. So thank you for taking the time out, and we'll have you. You can keep your camera on, but just chill, and we'll have you back on in just a few.
Awesome.
Are you gonna?
Yeah. Okay. Now for the next part here. I'm not going to even preface anything. This is going to be the owner and a team member of UpPaint. We've got Chad and we've got Dustin that are going to now join us, and we're going to get to talk to them a little bit about the company and about their just view of this entire competition. They've been in the war room with us, reposting stuff, and we're just wanting to also express thanks to the team at UpPaint for allowing us to be the facilitators, allowing our community to lead the way. This is their first ever competition, and they chose out FFT individually because what they saw from our interactions in the comments, our messages on Instagram. And so we couldn't be the facilitators of this competition without our community, and I'm just glad they took notice. So Dustin and Chad, thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Good to be here. This is really, really cool. I have to say, hearing everyone's story, Bria and Lauren and Neiman. I didn't know those stories, how you guys got started. It's super interesting. And we're just really happy to be part of this and to sponsor it and to see so many super cool projects come to life, come to fruition has been really inspiring for us. And if you don't mind, since you guys told your story, I'll give you a quick sort of 30-second elevator speech on UpPaint. So we started not with paint, but with a product called Brushbaggy. And once upon a time, I was a software executive. And one weekend, my wife and I were painting our living room, and I would use these Ziploc bags to put my wet paintbrush in to keep it wet and from drying out while we take breaks or overnight. So I would kind of
That's a hack. That's one of the secret hacks. Hold on, you're telling too
much. I'm sure people know this, right? But
yeah,
I kind of bite the corner out of a Ziploc bag and put the handle first down through the top and push the handle through the hole, and then seal the top. And it worked great. And I'm thinking to myself, somebody should create a bag specifically for brushes and rollers and trays, specifically for this, because it works so well. And my wife was like, well, why don't you do that? I said, well, maybe I will. So I did do that, and it's brushbaggy.com. You could see that. And that was kind of our entry into the coatings market, if you will. And 2020 is such a pivotal year for all of us, right? Lauren, your story was great. 2020, we were at a convention with Brushbaggy, and we were near, you're in these sort of convention centers and you're in these booths, and we met a company recycling paint. And we thought, that's kind of cool, recycling paint, but how good can it be? But you're next to these people for, 2 or 3 days, and you get to know them a little bit better and understand their product. And we learned that not only is it good paint, it's great paint. And if you use the right chemistry and you use the right sources and the right partners and you have the right processing, it can be amazing paint. And on top of that, we found out that 85 million gallons of paint every year goes wasted. And it just flabbergasted us, floored us. So we thought all of that paint is going to waste. Most of it's going into landfills. I think it's 58% ends up into the water table and then finally into the oceans and waterways. These are the microplastics in our oceans. So something needs to be done, and we sort of tackled it. And, we're still in the early stages of doing this, promoting it, getting our products out there. But you know, thanks to you guys and thanks to everyone that's participating and using paint. Every quart, pint, ounce that you use is that much less going into the landfill. So thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, the whole competition thing was a big surprise. Like how many people entered was amazing. The quality of the projects was super inspiring. Down the road, we're thinking, man, we got to come up with new colors, new products. So it's really been sort of a game changer for us on our side. So once again, thank you very much and just happy to be part of it.
Man, that's a cool story too in itself.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for, again, the opportunity for you guys to join us. Chad, do you want to hop in and throw in anything? You kind of were in the war room, you know, week by week, seeing what was being entered. Just tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the entire process.
Yeah, I'm on the marketing side, and you guys are like a dream come true from a marketing perspective, especially as a brand, because we had first worked with you on just like a normal, you know, in what we call like influencer relationship. And then we're like, oh, these people got it going on. And so that's where there was like always these responses. I'm like, how is Lauren doing all this? And then all of a sudden I'm like, it's Neiman. Neiman's this mythical like creature behind the scenes. He never sleeps. He's got all this energy. And then Neiman and I started like texting through this process, and he's like, hey bro. And then he would like just like leave it at that. And I was like, wait, what is it? Just tell me now. And so yeah, to be able to get to know the, you know, what's happening behind the war room, or perhaps in the war room, but it is something that's exceeded our expectation. And what everyone will be seeing here in a moment is all these wonderful furniture flips, and it puts us in a spot as a marketing team for the brand to find a lot of new talent to work with too. So that's something for everybody that's participated. One of the benefits of partaking in this competition. Plus, we have what's now been the ear of Michaels. And so we have a conversation with Michaels on Tuesday next week. This just happened today. And the conversation is, what does the next competition look like? And they want to find a way to be more formally involved. And so that's something, I don't have any more details beyond that. But that puts us in an extra special spot for what's been a wonderful competition from everybody involved. But I also want a hat tip to my man Neiman, because yeah, behind the scenes, you've been super fun to work with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, man, and right back at you, dude. Like your energy, all of that. Like I felt like we were buddies that hadn't seen each other in a while, just kicking it again. So great. What's that, Nana?
Nana's watching.
Oh, Nana's joined the chat. Everybody, let's say hi to Nana. Yeah, and so if I'm understanding correctly, Chad, is what you're saying with, you know, you've got opportunities and you've seen people's work and how they've used the paint. Are you saying that you like there's opportunity for further collaborations with people that join the contest and that may be watching as well?
For sure. Yeah. So those people that were working on their holiday decor and still finding time to flip, that will be rewarded is what I would anticipate, just because for us, it's been a wonderful way to be exposed to a bunch of creators in a community that is so passionate. I think one of the things that Lauren said at the outset, it's like, it's a feel-good community. I haven't seen in the chat any negativity. People are so positive.
Oh, they know.
And it's like,
know.
This is the internet. It's full of hatred normally. So it's something that is like really rare. It's like this diamond in the rough to find so much positivity. And so to be able to work with people in the community that you guys have brought together is something that we would be fools not to continue on in that process. So that, yes.
All right.
To answer your question, yes.
Hold on, pause. Everybody, let's go into the chat right now on YouTube. Let's put the clapping emojis. Let's just, I don't think they have a pat on the back thing, but let's just clap it up for yourselves and for that compliment that Chad just gave you guys, because they're taking notice. Michaels is taking notice. And I think that being a light in the world through spreading, going against the grain with being positive, and even if you don't like a piece, it's not your cup of tea, there's still a way that you can acknowledge it and say, it's not my thing, but I see the detail in the work and I see how that might work for somebody else. It doesn't have to go to, I hate that and you suck and you should stop. So you guys heard Chad. We're going to have them put their money where their mouth is. Chad, can I give out your email and have the people
Oh yeah,
that
for sure. Yeah, I'll put it in chat too.
Okay, do you want to do the your deviate?
I'll do that. I have an up paint one too. That's going to be a good one.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Call that
I-
out on screen too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so it's my first letter C, and then it's Riddersen, RIDDERSEN at uppaint.com. Anyone interested in collaborations, we're always looking for talent. And yeah, I guess other things that I was helping someone come up with a name for their YouTube channel in the sidebar here too. And so like,
Nice.
if it's something
Nice.
like that, I'm passionate about this stuff. So
Fact.
yeah, I was coming up with some things there too.
Total side tangent. We'll get right back on track. But I think we have a brand on, and there are other content creators that are watching. Chad, what are some things that you guys are looking for when somebody like maybe cold outreaches to you? What information do you want to know? What makes it like stand out from other people's emails that might not be taking it serious when they reach out to you to work together?
Yeah, well, this is fun because I'm very
Yeah, this is.
for the
We're doing
history
a
of this
podcast.
business. Oh,
Sorry.
for the yeah, it's like a podcast. So the history of this
Yeah,
business,
sorry.
we've been playing offense, like trying to go out there and find the talent. And so for us, we're searching hashtags and people who are putting the work in. A lot of times we're looking for the engagement. So like the views matter, yes, but like what's that ratio that people are getting engagement? And so Bria is like that other diamond in the rough, honestly. So like Roy from our team found some content that Bria had posted, and then it seemed like there was some sort of methodology as well as just like a consistent quantity of people who are going in and engaging with her content. And so we had no idea that there was a connection behind the scene, but yeah, Bria killed it. I put it in the chat, but there was a video that we did where she used UpPaint that got 7 million views, which is like, like a best case scenario for us. And like,
Hands
that's
down.
where I guess we're looking for the rising talents. So yeah, that's something that, I mean, I don't know, talent comes in all forms from all places. So I think ultimately like it comes down to the engagement, I would say, is probably the primary thing that we're looking at.
Awesome. And so like when people are typing out an email, like is there data that you're wanting them to send, screenshots of that type of stuff? Or,
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you're reaching out is probably like the hurt, like that would be significant. So I gave my email out there. Yeah, I would challenge people to actually send the email. I think people who partook in the competition are the people that like get stuff done. But that's like what I observe in life. Like there's a lot of people that are like on, just sitting at home on the couch. But then there's like the Laurens and, the Neiman's and the Brias of the world who are doing live streams on a Friday night, and then the community that surrounded those. So like, this is all those people that actually, manifest and take their destiny into their own hands. So like, that's what we're looking for, is like the people that have the passion and put the purpose behind the work.
You gave me some shivers over here, my boy. I would use another reference, but I don't know if it would be appropriate. All right. So thank you, Chad. Thank you, Dustin. Again, you guys have been incredible. We enjoy our relationship, and we look forward to many more prosperous years building up UpPaint, building up this community together. And once again, thank you to Bria as well for joining us. And I think now.
Well, before we get in, we're gonna do one quick check on the comments. Are there anything that we need to address at all?
No, I haven't really been. So many people have been watching. So many people have been watching Lauren from the beginning and learning. A lot of people haven't started flipping yet, but are going to start soon because of the inspirations that they've gotten. Lots of clapping for UpPaint and for this whole collaboration.
I'm going to pin the email once again, or I'm going to pin your email, Chad. C. Riddersen. It's RSEN.
Yep.
At UpPaint, just so that way it stays. It should stay.
All right. All right. So, well, thank you so much for all of those comments. I obviously can't see them word for word right now, but I will be going back and checking those out. So, yeah, we're super excited to be working with all these amazing people. Again, another shout out. Like, there are people who are haters, and I think that our community shows, like we had said in the comments, like, you guys are the ones that we want around. So just, again, I want to say another thank you to that.
They can hear Mom's pride in her voice. And also, how do we get UpPaint shirts, they ask? you want to hop on really quick? And is there
Oh.
the ability to do that, Chad? or
I
no?
have an up paint shirt on.
Okay.
Do you guys
Yeah.
have it on your website yet?
So I mean, we're not used to people liking us enough to want our shirts. So like we
That's
have
a
them.
change. 2024 is about to change
for you.
Yeah, I know, this is great. But yeah, like just email me. I put it in the chat as a response there as a way to get some freebies out of it. And so I guess at some point we can have them on the website. But for now, like, yeah, just email me. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
sweet. You guys have some you guys have like what, 3 or 4 designs or something like that?
Yeah. The product design team is like super obsessive, and so everything that they do is wonderful. And so yeah, they're like legit shirts, and we'll probably have some more coming out now that we know that people want them. So
yeah,
like,
heck yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. And email me with your size. That would be a good reference point as well when you do email me for the shirt.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few people asking, so you
We might
better.
get flooded with emails, but hey, that's fine.
Yeah, they're
All
coming
right.
soon.
All right, I think we are going to jump into the actual reason that you guys probably came, which is the winners of the competition. So, without further ado, we had 3 different categories that you guys were able to enter into. And the first one is on a budget, the second one is Flipper's Choice, and the third one was Best Dresser. So on a budget meant that your piece alone had to be under $100 bought. So whether it was at a thrift store, a Facebook marketplace, side of the road, whatever it may be, you guys proved the receipts for us or photos of your pieces when you purchased them. And that was the on a budget, under $100. The Flipper's Choice meant anything and everything that you wanted to submit into that category, whether it be upholstery, whether it be a dresser, some nightstands, a kitchen table, whatever you wanted it to be. That was for Flipper's Choice. No limitations on costs at all. And then the third category was Best Dresser. So obviously that means dressers. So whether it was like a long dresser like this one back here, or a taller dresser like this one over here, any of those ones counted for that category. So we're gonna go ahead and start off.
Yep. Let's read some comments while I get everybody in the lobby here. But Chad did say, "You get a shirt. You get a shirt. You get a shirt."
Well, first I'm going to say the first category that we are going to be announcing the winners of is on a budget. So we are going to be
inviting in.
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be inviting in the top 3 people into our live stream. So they are going to hop in. We're going to invite you guys in.
I believe one of them will not be joining us, though.
Correct. Yes, you're right.
And Lacey, she was Carmelina, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 2 that are going to be joining us, and then the third one couldn't join us. So the first one is Mallory, and the second one is Lacey, and the third one is Robin. So they are joining us in the chat here right now. Hello.
Where are those papers for the?
They are joining us in the chat here right now. Hello.
Where are those papers for the?
They are joining us in the chat here right now. Hello.
Where are those papers for the?
They are joining us in the chat here right now. Hello.
Hold on, we're having a technical difficulty.
Joining us. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yes.
Oh, the 2 in the chat, make sure that your live stream on the YouTube channel is muted.
Good catch.
Please.
Yeah. It was Lacey that we were getting feedback from.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're good now.
Okay, excellent. Let's go. So we're going to keep Lacey muted, and we're going to start with Mallory. And we wanted to bring them on. And
yeah. Okay, so we're going to bring on the 3 finalists. This one's the 2 finalists because Robin couldn't make it into the live stream, but she's still a contender. These are our top 3 in this category. And so the first one's Mallory here. So
sorry, really quick. Everybody who entered into this category, I just want to really quick before we get to the top 3. a lot of great entries, and we're excited with.
You're so-
It was a really hard decision for us to narrow these down to the
Yeah.
top 3.
Yeah.
We sat for 2 hours with Team Up Paint, and then another hour and a half with Bria to get a top 3, and you guys really made us work for it. But again, great job to everybody.
Yes. Ditto. All right, so we wanted to ask a few questions to our top 3. So the first one is for Mallory. So can you share a little bit about your creative process and how you approached this challenge? Mallory.
Mallory, can you hear us? We can't hear you. In the bottom left, if you look at that microphone that says mute, click on the arrow and then just. Okay, we may jump over to Lacey and then we'll get Mallory figured out. So we're bringing in Lacey.
Yeah, okay. Lacey, ready to go?
Welcome.
Yep, I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Can you share a bit about your creative process and how you approached the challenge?
Hi, I'm Lacey. I really just moved to Salt Lake City from California, and I was struggling with the big change and like kind of depressed. And I just randomly came across your page and on your Instagram, and it started to inspire me. So I started to do more projects. And before I used to do those projects in California and find joy in there. And so I was trying to find that joy again. And then after I watched your video, it inspired me like, okay, actually, let's do something about this. And so I wanted to get my hands dirty again. And I really enjoyed starting this.
Wow, you're making me cry.
That's 2 of us.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So what were your biggest challenges that you faced during this project and how did you overcome them?
My biggest challenge was using this putty because I wanted to make sure it was perfect and there was no dips or cracks or anything. And so I would start and then it wasn't good enough. I start again and it was just a lot of practice. And then after just a bunch of practice, it became perfect. And now I know how to actually use it. So that was definitely a struggle.
That can definitely be a struggle to get that very smooth. Definitely comes with practice. I'm really glad that you pushed through. And I mean, obviously you're in the top 3, so
It
you
paid
did a
off.
great job. Last question here is, how has participating in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
When I saw your competition on Instagram, I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm super interested. And then I did love this color, like as soon as I saw it, and it was really affordable, which was like really nice. And it fit my dresser perfectly. Like the amount of paint fit my dresser perfectly.
Wow.
And I like that it's recyclable because we recycle a lot and pretty much anything my wife makes me recycle. So the fact that the paint is recyclable too and it helps the world makes me feel better about what I'm actually doing as well. So I do find that it's an amazing product and it's an amazing cause.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Neiman popped up a photo of your before. And so that's a project. I mean, you chose a project that was like full of paint and I mean, yeah. I don't even think I've ever done
Scratches.
that.
Yeah. Sweet. Is that all for the questions?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Are we
ask
gonna-
her.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
What would you do? One last question with the $1,000 if you're picked.
Okay, if you are the final winner of the $1,000, what is your plan to do with the money?
I would definitely invest in new tools. My wife keeps telling me I need to have a backup battery, and I'm like, I will soon, I will soon. And not having a backup battery kind of does take a little bit longer, but now I will reinvest in, some tools that, can maybe help me make things look nice and obviously go out for a nice dinner.
Love it. Thank you so much
And
for
we have
sharing.
6 dogs to put through college, so it's probably going to dog food.
Love that. All right. Thank you so much, Lacey. We're going to have you go on mute again, and then we're going to move on to Mallory, but stay in the chat here.
And I have not yet shown the final pieces, that I think I'm going to wait
Okay.
until.
So yeah, everyone, that was just Lacey's before. So stay tuned to see her after. All right, Mallory, you can go ahead and unmute, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions as well. Can you share your creative process about how you approached the challenge?
Well, I had this free dresser sitting in the garage. I hope you can hear me now. I think I figured it. Sorry. I had a free dresser in the garage, and I was at Michael's looking at the paint selection, and I loved the color Foggy and the Venetian plaster, and I love trying new techniques. It keeps it interesting. It keeps this job fun. So I started there, and then I loved the way the Venetian plaster looked, and then I picked out hardware that I thought matched, and it all came together, I guess.
Love
Basically, I
that.
put
Yeah,
in something new, and I like the color.
that's awesome. I'm gonna go off the track, but had you used Venetian plaster like at all before?
No, I haven't. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw, I used it as well on some
I did. I
nightstands.
saw it after, and I was like,
I
oh,
mean, it's tricky.
yeah, it was. I definitely used my fingers too, like you did on the
Yeah,
edge
so
stuff. I'm
that
sure it
kind of
would be different on a flat wall, but I don't know if any
yeah, I
dress.
agree. So that leads me to a next question is what were some of the challenges that you faced during the project?
Oh,
Guess just figuring out how to get the plaster in like the nooks and crannies, kind of. And then this dresser, like actually, I had to basically put it back together too. So it wasn't that hard, but I guess just figuring out how to use a new product. And then
Okay.
yeah, the curves, and then getting it into the crevices on the dresser, I suppose.
Yeah, I agree, because getting it around those little edges without it being a completely flat. I mean, yours is even flatter than mine, so that's
Right. I saw
it's
your
just
curve, yeah.
yeah, and it's a cool new look on furniture.
Yeah.
How has participating in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
I think maybe giving challenging pieces a chance. I think a lot
Yeah,
of people say like just skip ones that have drawer problems or whatever, but I mean a lot of times it's not super difficult to fix. So maybe
guilty. I'm
I
guilty of
know. Maybe
that.
we should give them a chance so we can save them from the landfill.
Yeah, totally agree. I could tell like something was up with those drawers in that before photo. So that
It was like
was,
they were wonky.
yeah. All right. And then Neiman's last question is, if you win the $1,000, what would you do with it?
Probably have a nice date night with my husband and maybe buy some things for the garage. Probably buy my daughter something. She'll make me buy her something.
what do you want right now, daughter?
Decorate my bedroom that I've been meaning to decorate forever. I don't know.
Cool. Lots of great ideas. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those answers with us. I'm going to have you go on mute and hang out with us just for another minute.
Thank
And then, yeah. So like I said before, Robin was the third contestant in the top 3 in the on a budget category. She wasn't able to join us here on our live due to traveling. And so we actually prepped and asked her some questions before the call. So the first question, can you share a bit about your creative process and how you approached this challenge? Robin said, I had purchased the piece the weekend before hearing about the challenge, and I knew it was the perfect flip. So from there, I looked at UpPaint's colors, and I'm a sucker for blues, so navy it was. And I had the beautiful gold hardware to create a pop, and the wood was so pretty. I wanted to showcase that too. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in this project, and how did you overcome them? So the biggest challenge for Robin was that she had never used chalk paint before, and she said it had great coverage, but she wasn't sure how to finish it, and it just seemed to kind of attract some fingerprints in the workspace. So she reached out to UpPaint, and they were great to make suggestions. So she had won a $50 gift card on our Instagram when we were asking you guys to participate, share on your stories, create reels. She was one of those winners. And so she went and bought the salve from Michael's or on uppaint.com, and she put that over the top of the chalk paint to seal it in. And she said it smells amazing, and it did the trick. And she learned a lot using chalk paint for her first time. And she said that she's always loved sustainable living, and it's how she decorates her home, and she has several pieces in her own home. She loves sharing with others how to save pieces from the landfill. The older pieces are made to last forever with solid wood. They carry stories from generations, and they become one-of-a-kind, unique pieces that are conversation starters with those visiting. I love hearing from those I purchase from and those I sell to. So thank you to Robin for those answers, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, now that you say that, they are conversation starters. You know, if you have a piece in your home, whether you're doing it yourself or someone is purchasing it from you, now they have a conversation starter, and they're totally built to last when you got those older solid pieces.
And no more waiting. We are going to show the final pieces here. So a nice countdown.
Well, you can show the pieces.
I was going to show them all together.
Yeah,
Yep.
show them all together.
The final countdown. 3,
3,
2,
1.
1.
But it doesn't have the order. It's just these are the 3 final pieces in the top 3 running. So we've got Mallory, Lacey, and Robin here. And I guess we can do a drum roll, even though we're the only ones that are going to be drum rolling.
What if I'm going to scroll through to kind of show them the before and afters.
Okay. Yep.
But what if we brought Bria in here, or you just had a quick dialogue where, kind of just talking about some of the things that you did like about these pieces and why they stuck out to you?
Yeah, so like we said, these were very difficult choices, and to narrow it down to even 3, and then from the 3 to have to choose the top one, it was very tricky, and there was so much great competition. So again, another thank you. But something that stood out to me about these pieces is
Let's start on Mallory's.
About Mallory's was the separation, the differentiation of, okay, she didn't, go and use the chalk paint, which is fine if you did, but she stepped out of the box, she stepped out of her comfort zone, and I feel carried out the end product really well with the Venetian plaster on this dresser. It doesn't even look like the same piece anymore. I can see really great craftsmanship. She took the drawers and fixed them up. So that's what I really liked about this piece. And like Neiman said, we've spent hours with Bria and the UpPaint team. And so I'm also, saying things that they've said as well. So for the next one.
Yep. Hold on. All right. Get it together, Neem. Okay, here we go. We're back at it. And we're back like we never left.
All right, so the next one is Lacey, and like I said when I was talking with her, I mean, it's black painted. It looks almost like latex, like that stuff's just gonna peel right off. And the transformation, I mean, she had to add legs. She went from that painted to the wood, which is just hard in itself. And then the accent of the green color is really great. I mean, the green with the wood is always a favorite of, I feel like, everybody's, unless you hate green, but then that's your problem. No, just kidding. But no, I think that the transformation, the addition of the hardware, again, the legs, I thought that the work put into this from the before to after was phenomenal. So loved that one.
And that entry did get a nod from Mom, who didn't have any stake in the votes, but she did nod back here. I will say. All right, let's keep moving.
All right, and then the third one was Robin's. So something that stood out to me on this one was like it totally looks like a different piece. When I will say, I know, or Robin lives in Omaha, and she's actually came and visited the store, and so that was really cool to see. I was like, wait, this is Robin, like the one that lives here in Omaha. Like, I saw that piece on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, how'd you get that and not me? No, but when I saw her transformation, you know, just the fact of like just changing that color from the blonde to the more dark navy or the dark wood, and to pair that with the navy, I thought that it was a great pairing. And then the hardware, like, even though it's a vintage piece, a lot of people are like, oh, keep the vintage hardware, which I agree. But in some cases, that hardware it looks vintage, but then it just makes it pop. And so I just thought it was great all around. And the staging is awesome, which I think is a really big part of flipping furniture, especially if you're going to sell it, because sometimes staging really helps sell your piece. So now the drum roll, now that we've got all of the finished pieces, the before and after. Dad's helping drum roll over there. You probably can't hear it, but all right. So
Really quickly, we want to just share with them what the grading rubric was, just really quickly.
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so 40% on the grading scale on all three categories. 40% was creativity and originality, essentially how unique is your flip. 30% craftsmanship, what's the quality of the work, the attention to detail, and just the overall finish of the flip. 20% goes to the transformation, how dramatic, impressive is the before and after of the flip. And 10% was the narrative, how compelling is the story you have created with your flipped furniture, which if people join us on Instagram, you know, people were sharing, and that was aiding, and people put it into
Reels.
And the Google form
Story.
told us a little
Yeah.
bit about the whole process.
Yeah.
We're not going to read here, but yeah, that's our grading scale.
All right. Officially, I'm going to say it, even if Neiman interrupts me. Okay. All right. So for the first
Let's
place?
start from third to first,
Okay.
and what's each place winning?
Okay. So in the honorable mention, third place winner, we have chosen Lacey, and she will be winning a $75 gift card to uppaint.com, which was the addition that we didn't originally plan on. But again, UpPaint was just so thrilled with the results and the competition. So thank you so much to Lacey for entering in. And I'm so glad that you kind of were able to get out of your funk and get into a hobby that makes you happy, and we're just really excited to have you as a part of our community. So thank you, and we love your piece.
And Lacey, you heard it here. Does she have Instagram?
I couldn't find her Instagram publicly, but
It is private, but she does have an Instagram that she's starting.
Okay, great. Well, you heard it from Chad himself. Reach out to Chad, and girl, you've got some skills, so get on with the collaboration. And we just are very excited to see the future work to come from you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Do you
And
have
thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, of course. Do you have any, like, I guess really quick, we weren't going to do this, but like 10, 15 seconds of just what you want to say about winning third place, or just really quick, podium talk, I guess. No worries if not.
I'm really excited. I wasn't even expecting to even get this far because I thought, with so many entries, like there's no way. So like I knew it was hard for you guys to be making a decision, and wow, those other pieces were really amazing. And then I saw it and I'm like, I made it. Wow. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yay,
Mom says
thank
your piece is
you.
Mom says your piece is amazing as well, and we will be contacting you via email to get you set up with that $75. So, second and first.
All right, another drum roll. Thank you, Lacey. Okay, so the second place winner is going to be winning a $150 gift card to uppaint.com, and that is Mallory.
Woo!
There is her piece before and after. Did we lose her, or is she still on there?
Maybe we lost her. I'm not sure. But what's Mallory winning?
Okay. Mallory is winning $150
Oh, sorry.
at uppaint.com. I think I already said that.
One ear, not the other, Neem.
Wait, is she still on there? I think we maybe lost Mallory.
I think we might have lost Mallory, which is A-okay. We will.
Okay, well, congratulations to Mallory.
Yay.
And so that means that Robin is our first place $1,000 cash winner. And I'm so sad that she wasn't able to make it on, but we did reach out to her and said, if you are the top winner, these are the questions that we would ask you. So I'm going to ask you them because she went ahead and gave us her answers just in case. And so, first question, how do you feel about your project and what it represents in the realm of sustainable DIY? She said, I feel like it represents a lot, from a beautiful piece lost in a storage garage that's been completely made over to just using the sustainable products in it. And then the next question, looking back at your project, what were the aspects that you are particularly proud of? She said, I'm proud of how it turned out and my vision came to life. Secondly, it sold in less than 24 hours to a family who had just moved from out of state needing to fill their home. And it fit their style and needs for less than what they would have paid for at the big box store here in town. That always makes me happy. Again, sustainable. And then what advice would you give to aspiring DIY enthusiasts who want to incorporate sustainability into their projects? And she said, start with something you love. Mine was furniture, but it could be thrifting to bring extra touches to your home, sewing things, buying from Habitat for Humanity to add new hardware to a worn piece. I always say hardware is the jewelry of furniture. The sky is the limit. The sky is kind of the limit for the DIYer. So another round of applause down in the comments for Robin and Mallory and Lacey. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us on the call. And thank you for entering into the On a Budget category.
Keep up the good work, and we cannot wait to see what's to come for all of you. All of you need to reach out to UpPaint Chad and get to talking with our people over there. And this is only the beginning. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
So now let's move into our second category.
Yep. Our second category is Flipper's Choice. And Bria is going to take the reins on this one. So she's going to ask some questions to our participants that we are going to let in the room right now. And so she's going to take the reins. I'm going to try and be quiet so I don't pop up. And
yeah, I'm getting them in here, but in the meantime, while I work on this, Bria, what did you think of that first round of people?
I was so impressed by all three of those flippers. I think they did an amazing job, and I like how they were all kind of different. With the Venetian plaster, I love the texture of it. And then the light green dresser, I thought that color was beautiful. I used that color recently. And then the other one, Robin's dresser, or her buffet, I love the mixture of the wood and the dark blue paint. So they all did an incredible job, and I was really, really impressed.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And out of this batch of entrants or this category, we're going to have 2 of the 3 as well join us.
okay.
We do have questions and answers from Tanya, but let's welcome in our contestants.
Yep.
You want to announce them? Oh, hold on.
Bria's got it.
Oh, my
She's
bad,
taking
Bria.
over,
Oh, yeah,
remember?
that's right. All right, I'm
Being
focused.
quiet.
I'm giving you visuals. I got your back. All right.
Okay, so our top 3 contestants for Flipper's Choice was in no particular order. We had Tanya, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, Tanya Torcato. And then we had, again, excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong, Azucena, is that right? Azucena Romo. And then we also had Grace Holbrook. So congratulations, you 3, for making the top 3. You guys did an incredible job. I mean, I know I said I was blown away last time, but like I was blown away for all 3 of these categories. Just the amount of work that you guys put into these furniture flips was incredible. Lauren and I were just amazed by your guys' craftsmanship and your talent. So it's an honor to talk to you guys. I think Neiman is showing the after pictures. So again,
And
these are
Bria,
The before is first.
oh, geez, I ruined it. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I spoiled that.
afters.
Yeah, we totally set you up for the harder names as well, Bria.
I know. Oh no. Okay, so I think, should I get into the questions? Is that a good idea?
Well, let's bring in who we have here, or let's get into the questions.
Okay. So again, no particular order. I'll start with goodness, I'm so nervous to say your name. Azucena. Is that correct?
She can correct you.
Go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, is that correct?
Azucena. I go by Sana for sure, but yes.
Okay, perfect. So I have a few questions for you.
Azucena.
Azucena. Okay. So first, can you share a little bit about your creative process and how you approach this challenge?
So I've actually had this love seat for a while. I saw it at an estate sale and it just caught my eye because I love vintage furniture. And I knew I wanted to paint it, but I didn't know how to go about it. So I watched a couple videos on social media and I guess went out on a limb and was like, let's just do it. So I saw the chalk paint and I've seen videos where people would use a mixture between the chalk paint and water or fabric softener. So I decided to use both. And I guess it just kind of worked out. I did 5 coats of the deep anchor chalk paint and it actually surprisingly gave it a really cool texture. It wasn't crunchy by any means. It literally feels like leather. So I was pretty impressed with the turnout.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was really inspired when I saw this couch. I've never painted fabric before, so I think I'm going to give it a try. And the next question, what were your biggest challenges?
Me either. I bet my neighbors thought I was crazy.
Yeah, it turned out great though. So what were your biggest challenges during this project and how did you overcome them?
I guess one challenge that I had was, being nervous about how it would turn out. I was scared that it would be like tough and just like hard, but I ended up sealing it after it completely dried with clear wax, and that's what gave it that nice texture and almost felt like leather pretty much.
That's awesome. And then last question, how has participating in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
I mean, using up paint was, discarded or people just don't want it anymore. And using up paint, it just made sense. It's something that upcycling furniture with upcycled paint. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. It makes complete sense. Well, thank you so much for answering all those questions. So now let's move on to Grace's piece. And Grace, I have the same questions for you. If you want to unmute yourself. Hi. So, let's see. Let me go back up here. So again, can you share a little bit about your piece and your process for how you approach this challenge?
Of course. So we had this piece already in our home, and it's actually like in our bedroom too. So I'm gonna look at it as I'm talking. But we had this piece in our home, and as you can tell, this whole piece is white. And I had painted this piece when I first started furniture flipping, and that was when everything, if you painted it white, it would sell. And so we kept it in our home. And our kids loved going in and out of these doors. And you can kind of tell in the door on the right hand side that it's a little bit wonky because our kids would climb in there and like bolt and dash out of there, and the hinges just like it broke. So it was begging me for a makeover.
Yeah, I love all of the looks like crayon markers or something, crayon marks on it.
Yes, yes.
So what were your biggest challenges that you faced and how did you overcome them?
Man, I had a lot of self-doubt with this piece. So originally I thought like, should I just keep it as a buffet? And then I don't know about you guys, but buffets that large do not sell well for me in my area. But anyway, so in the past, I had done a dog kennel by scratch, and I thought this piece would make an amazing dog kennel. And so trying just to work out the process between that of taking something that I already had and finding a new function of it was really challenging to me. But I feel like it was a blessing at the same time because it stretched me and what I could do.
I remember seeing, because I was following you along on your stories for this piece, and I remember you saying you were going to turn this into a dog kennel. I was like, how is
Yeah.
she going to do that? But you did a great job.
Thank you.
And then last question, how has participating in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
Well, I think just even watching every other person's flip on this has been really encouraging to me, just to look at pieces in a different perspective where if it's broken, it could be fixed. If it's like up this buffet where I didn't have much of a function of it, now I can as a dog kennel. And so I think just the whole aspect of upcycling is so cool. And I think it's becoming more of on trend. With this piece here, my inspiration was from like a $4,000 dog kennel, and spending $4,000 on a dog kennel is just mind blowing to me. But being able to make it from a piece that I already had, I don't know. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm just happy to be here.
Well, thank you so much. And then I think Neiman mentioned that you guys asked the other person questions. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's right. He's going to pop up her before really quick first.
Yes, I am.
And then you can ask the question and then he'll answer as if he were Tanya.
Okay, perfect.
Let me work on it
I
a little
need
bit. Mickey Mouse? Okay.
You ready, Neiman?
I'm ready. Let's do this, Bria.
Okay, so can you share a little bit about your creative process and how you approach this challenge?
Let's not forget I'm Tanya. Tanya would answer that question. I'm not someone that uses a lot of color in my projects, but when I saw the colors on the shelf, I couldn't think of anything else but the ocean. The ocean is my happy place. I'm also someone that tries to keep the natural beauty of wood as far as possible. The cabinets had a huge hole in the front that needed to be filled in, so I knew I had to paint, but there were still areas that had amazing grain. So this became the perfect piece for me to combine them. The best of both worlds. The colors blended perfectly, she says. I was amazed at how smoothly they went on. I guess to achieve something you never have, you have to be willing to do something you've never done. Pretty sure that was JFK or I don't know. Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
Rick's giving me the look like that was nowhere near JFK. All right.
Okay, second question. Tanya, what were your biggest challenges you faced during this project and how did you overcome them?
As Tanya, one of my biggest challenges was time as I signed one of my biggest challenges was time, as I signed up about 10 days after the competition had started. I also knew that I wanted to do more than one piece, so I had to catch up. I also used techniques that I had never used before, so there was no time for errors. Also, it being just around the holiday didn't help, LOL. I work on my furniture at night after my little ones are asleep. A lot of planning had to go into it so that I could work on 3 pieces at the same time and also meet the deadline. For example, I would work on another piece while one piece was drying, or prep another one, or get the hardware ready, etc. Which, Lauren, I'm pretty sure, she might have learned that from you. Another big challenge was just having faith in myself and knowing the number of followers I have does not determine how good I am at what I do and what I can accomplish. So this challenge to also overcoming some personal limitations encouraged me to put myself out there. That's awesome right there.
I love that. Love that. Last question, Tanya. How has participating in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
As Tanya, first of all, kudos to the Up Paint Company for coming up with the concept of recycled paint. As furniture flippers, I think we are all doing great with recycling old furniture and helping erase our carbon footprint. But the ability to actually use upcycled paint just takes it to the next level. Makes me very proud to be able to add that to my furniture description.
Awesome.
And Tanya exits chat.
All right.
And here we are. Awesome. All right. Well, I mean, these are some, and now I need to show the pieces, huh, Bria?
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
All right. I could do that.
So here are all 3 of the afters at one time.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Look at that. And I'm going to scroll through. So Bria, tell us a little bit about, this was Tanya's entry. What are your thoughts on it and how you thought it came out?
Okay, so I'm just going to preface this. For all 3 of your guys' entries, I kid you not, my jaw hit the floor every single time. For Tanya's entry, like I could never do what she did here. The blending, just the wood grain, it's so beautiful the way she executed everything in these pictures. I mean, it literally blows my mind. I'm speechless about it. So I just loved everything about her piece here.
Cool.
Yeah.
And let's move into.
Okay, Grace's piece. Again, I was watching on her stories as she was updating about this piece, turning something that she worked on previously that has been beat up and well loved, and turning it into this dog kennel. Like, it's a dog kennel. It went from a buffet to a dog kennel. That just is insane. And it looks like it could be a $4,000 piece. It just blows my mind. Like, I could never do that.
I'm curious, really quick. Grace, did you end up? No, are you keeping this or are you selling that?
I would love to keep it, but we don't have a dog. So I was trying to tell my husband we need to have a dog now, but I'm still working on that.
So are you going to sell it then? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I haven't listed it yet. Like I said, it's still in our bedroom because I'm trying to keep it. But once we move it to the garage, I can list it. Yeah.
I see your strategy there. That'll work. Awesome. Thanks, Grace.
Yeah, but definitely update. And on that first page, we had everyone's Instagram handles. So those of you that are watching on YouTube Live, check out all of their pages so that you can follow them. They've all got great content. And then, the third one.
So that our third one from Azucena, you painted a couch and it doesn't look painted. It looks like it's brand new. Again, I'm repeating myself, but it blows my mind. It's like your craftsmanship is so spot on. The picture quality is incredible. I can't believe it's the same piece of furniture. When Lauren and I were on FaceTime, I could not believe that this is the same piece of furniture. I think you did a great job, and you have motivated me to go out and find a couch and paint it myself. So I might be messaging you for some pointers.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. It was fun, and thank you to everybody who supported. And the whole community has been just very welcoming, and I love it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Right.
Cool. Well, I think that's enough said, huh?
Yeah, Bria, let's do it. Go ahead and do 3, 2, 1 in that order.
All right, so third place, our honorable mention. What's the word? Mentionee.
Honorable mention. Yeah, you're good.
Honorable
You got
mention.
it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Who will be receiving a $75 gift card to Paint is Tanya.
Woohoo, Tanya! So
Again,
she's
incredible job,
not.
Tanya. You blew all of us away, and you did a wonderful job.
Yes, she did. I agree.
You're Tanya.
Oh,
You gotta say thank
thanks,
you.
everybody. I just love the beach. I love wood. I love wood that washes up on the beach. All right, cool.
Stop. I was kidding.
Oh my god. Okay, second place, receiving a $150 gift card to Paint is Azucena with her beautiful couch. Round of applause.
Yay!
Amazing job.
Yeah, Lauren had done a upholstery at one point, and I don't think the execution was carried out nowhere as clean as this. So we had not done anything since. So
Yeah.
the way that you executed, yeah, it was just done so well.
Right.
And it looks
And I think that like having a couch, like this was the perfect category for that. You were the only one. I think there was one person who did like a little footstool that had a little bit of upholstery, but they didn't paint the upholstery. So like to see that was like a standout project to all of us, including the Up Paint team. And they really thought that it was like it kind of opened their eyes and they were like, what? Like they've never seen this before. Whereas like, you know, maybe some of us furniture flippers have seen it a little bit here and there, but they were just, you know, it opened another door for them to be able to be like, hey, like not only can you do wood furniture, but like you can do this type of furniture too. And you do upholstery. So that's, yeah, we all pushed very hard to have you in the top because it was great.
well, what I was gonna say on top of that is this was, I mean, you can't see my hands, but the decision for first and second were like, oh, well, show them, you know, like minuscule.
Yeah.
So it was almost up to a flip of a dime type of thing. It was that difficult. So with that being said, Bria.
Which means Grace is our number one winner, receiving $1,000 cash. Grace, you did such an incredible job, and I'm just dying to know how you feel about winning and what you're going to use this $1,000 for.
I'm like sweating over here. I was so nervous. But I'm really excited. Gosh, okay. Well, I would love to do a kitchen makeover, and this would give me a good excuse to go ahead and do that. And I know you're going to be planning yours too, right, Bria?
We can do it together.
Yeah, so that's something I would definitely look forward to if I'm able to do it.
Awesome. And looking back at your project, are there any things that you would do differently, or like what aspects are you proud of on this piece?
Honestly, I think getting rid of all of the paint and the little tiny grooves on the top, like that was so stressful to me. Like I had to take a little tiny screwdriver and just kind of wedge it out, and that took me forever. But I think I'm really happy with how it turned out. I was pretty scared that I would ruin the whole piece.
And then last question is, what advice would you give to an inspiring DIY enthusiast?
Oh my goodness, I can give you my biggest tip. How about that?
Perfect.
So I saw a bunch of you guys in the chat were from Washington State too, but I didn't see any of you down my area. So if you have an app it's called Freebie Alerts. So basically that will put everything together like OfferUp, Facebook. I don't know if Craigslist is a part of that too, but it will post free listings on your zip code area. And usually I've been using that to find my free furniture instead of going and trying to do like thrift store shopping or like a $10 piece or something. But I would say start with the free pieces first because those, I find the most joy in those books too.
They usually give the best outcome too, the best before and afters. So that's
Absolutely.
a great tip. Well,
And
congratulations. I'm
biggest
so excited
profits.
for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good profits.
Yeah, he even said, and the biggest profits. And it's like sometimes people like don't care, like they don't know what they have, or they literally just don't care. So you can get some real gems in free furniture. So that's a great tip. Love it.
So one more time, I wanted to pop everybody back up, and I just want, oh, this photo is bugging, but I wanted you guys to go follow all of these talented artists, give them a follow, tune in for the work that they have coming. I'm excited for what these people have and what everybody has in store. And this one was hard, but it's only going to get harder in the best dresser category. Let's just pop this up here really quick. So we'll just take a few seconds. What are the comments saying? What do you guys, what do we got over here, Miss Sherry?
Everybody did an amazing job. Pretty much everybody likes all the pieces.
Great craftsmanship. All three had such a creative vision. Great job.
What color specifically was that dog kennel?
Oh, Grace, are you still on there? Did you mix some colors?
I did. So at first I mixed charcoal and sage green, and I did just barely any of charcoal. I didn't measure. I just eyed it. But when I first did it, it dried a little bit too light and a little too blue. I think the charcoal kind of mixed in that color. But I ended up adding more charcoal to my sage, and now it's just like a lighter gray with a hint of green, and I love it.
So with that, did you end up using the latex paint then? Because I know that those aren't the chalk paint. So what was your experience with the latex versus the chalk paint for everyone out there?
Well, I know that chalk paint is usually like a thicker consistency, and I wanted to be really smooth on this piece, no brush strokes. And I ended up spraying it on, and it went on really well. I only had to do one coat, and to me, I think the coverage of just having one coat with the latex paint was pretty impressive to me.
Great. So did you just have to like kind of prep it a little bit more, so, or like really well to make sure that that latex adheres? Did you do a top coat?
No, I didn't do a top coat. Well, I guess a beeswax, but it's not really like a top coat finish wise. But I did use the Bullseye primer with it, but it's held up really well.
Great. Cool. Thank you so much. All right. So the Flipper's Choice, everyone down in the comments, again, congratulate everyone. And then I'm going to have you two hop out of the chat, and we're going to invite our last three for Best Dresser. And thank you so much to Bria as well for announcing those winners.
You rock, Bria.
All
We appreciate you.
righty.
What are the comments saying? What do we got, Sherry, while I get everybody in here? No pressure. You're good. You got it. We're just waiting on one person.
I love all three of them. Congratulations to all three winners. Love everything. Love using Freebies Alert. Grace's craftsmanship is top notch. All three had such creative vision. Great job. Congratulations to all three winners. All kinds of great comments.
Awesome. Things are heating up. Now we've got Alyssa in the lobby. Hello, Alyssa. Yep. Let's say Alyssa with the C, or no, Alyssa Clark.
They're both C's.
Oh, no way. All right. Lissa. No Y on this one. Alyssa, how are you doing? Come on in and let's hear from you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started with some questions. So again, this category was Best Dresser. So that meant any dresser that you wanted to take and flip. So can you share a little bit about your creative process and how you approached the challenge?
Okay, well, first I'm going to make it easy on you. My name is actually pronounced Alisa.
Oh, well,
Okay,
yes.
Sweet. Sorry about that. Okay, Alisa. There we
It's
go.
okay. It's totally spelled wrong, so no fault of yours. So this piece, I ended up going in a completely different direction than what I had originally planned for. And I think that's kind of the cool thing about this whole DIY process is sometimes you get in the middle of it and you realize you have an epic fail and you need to redo your plan. And so I had originally wanted to do a blending technique, and That is something I've never done before. But my blended part looked like a Halloween special. And so that was not the look I was going for. So I had to completely, switch my design.
Oh man, that's awesome. Well, it was a happy accident, I guess, but I do agree. I, tried my hand at blending once and it is definitely challenging, but I'm glad that you kind of rolled with the punches and, ended up with this design. So, I mean, I guess this kind of goes into this next question. What are your biggest challenges with this project and how did you overcome them? Like maybe aside from the switch, once you knew this technique was going to do it?
Well, as far as the biggest challenge, it was just like the blending. I just couldn't get the colors to look exactly the way I wanted them. And it's funny, I actually reached out to one person, Grace, who just won the last competition. And that's in this space, I love it because we're always reaching out to each other and asking for some help. And she gave me some, great advice. And I just decided that I was going to go with the sandstone texture. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Oh
Um,
yeah, you're good.
so that was something I had never used before. And so I really, still wanted to try something that was new to me for this competition. So reaching out to other furniture flippers is always a good thing because everyone has a different perspective.
Yeah. So what was that the advice that she kind of gave you to kind of like help you with your design or what did you guys talk about?
Well, I showed her my Halloween special and she said, yeah, you can't do that. And
That
so
ain't gonna
I
do it.
thought, I told her, well, I'm gonna mix the sandstone stuff up and let me know what you think. And she said, yeah, I think that's definitely how you need to go. So she gave me the push to finish the piece out that way.
I love that because you guys were like competing, but yet collabing or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I'm going to call that colluding. Disqualified.
Take it back. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, how was participating in this competition? How has it influenced you in your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
Well, I think that's such the cool thing. We're all furniture flippers, and so we all love that sustainable piece. I mean, we love taking things that other people are either going to throw out or don't want anymore. And it was really cool to work with a paint company that is the whole reason that they started this company. And so it was just kind of like the icing on the cake to work with a paint company that also has such a heart for transforming things for the same reason.
Totally agree. It's basically they work hand in hand, so it's almost a no-brainer for them to get into this space because that's kind of, why a lot of us got into this space, or at least one of the reasons. So awesome. Thank you, Elisa. And we are gonna have you mute, and then we're gonna move on to Alyssa really quick for some questions. So Alyssa, thanks for joining us. Can you share a bit about your creative process and how you approached this challenge?
So I was really excited to face this challenge, and I've never been in a part of a challenge before, and I took this and I'm like, you know what, I think I'm pretty good at flipping furniture, so I'm gonna take this challenge and just go full force with it. And I actually entered in all three categories, and I didn't really know which one was the best in my opinion. But this one definitely outshined the other two that I entered, and I'm really proud of it. And but yeah.
Yeah, I think you had some very solid entries in all three categories. So, again, along with everyone else, it was very difficult to choose these final top ones and then to choose which one we couldn't have anyone win multiple times, so we had to definitely narrow it down. So what were your biggest challenges that you faced during this project and how did you overcome them?
The biggest challenge I would say was finding the right feet to go on this dresser. It has the holes
off the side and I couldn't find the right hardware. So I kind of had to retrofit my own. I purchased them on Amazon and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I had to drill holes up into the bottom. I had to Bondo the holes and it was a whole process. And I think I'll do a reel about that process later on about how difficult it was. But really attaching the feet was pretty difficult.
For sure. Well, I think that that was a great addition so that it's not sitting on the ground like that. And if I saw correctly in one of your stories or reels, you got that for $14. So, I mean, that's a pretty great find.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Awesome. So how has participated in this competition influenced your perspective on sustainable furniture flipping?
I think it's a genius idea. I mean, it's crazy what people throw away these days. And for how much paint that we throw away, like someone goes and paints their kitchen, now they have a gallon of paint. What are they going to do with it? They can't return it. They're going to throw it away. So recycling paint is absolutely phenomenal. And as flippers, we already take, you know, something that was going to be thrown away, like a used dresser, and flip it. But adding in the sustainable paint is just amazing.
I totally agree. Thank you so much for sharing. And we're gonna, Michelle, is she?
Yeah, I Neiman boo-booed and because she got it. Yeah, I just had an accident. So she got kicked out and blocked. And so now I can't find where to let her back in.
What?
I know,
You
I
blocked
know, I
Michelle
know.
out? What the heck?
So let's give her a few seconds. Let's have Bria hop in really quick.
Well, she's off.
Oh, she's off. Okay. All right.
Or she's there, but she's not there.
Yeah. And then I said, oh, I had an accident. So then I'm like, oh, that's two sentences together that like people probably think I. Okay.
Right.
Anyway.
Alyssa, I'm going to have you go ahead and mute for now. And then we can pop up the three. So I guess Michelle is our third person in the contending for the top three here of the best dresser. So we're going to show you before we can maybe get her on, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah, she's going to use a new email, but we didn't ask Alyssa or Elisa what they might do with the $1,000 if we talked with Alyssa, but that was in another chat. So let's ask that.
Okay, Elisa, what would you do if you are the one who wins the $1,000?
Well, I would love to say that I would spend it on something like super grand, but I have 4 little kids that eat like crazy and chickens and goats. So I'm just going to be like boring and say I'm going to spend it on groceries and my animals.
That's fine. I think that that's great. That's practical and there's nothing wrong with they just add it to your budget. Like you don't have to go anything wild and grand. And if, that helps out, I would probably do that too, honestly.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not that far off from eating that much as that house. So
4 kids and goats.
$1,000 would help for sure.
Awesome. Alyssa, how about you? I know we talked a little bit, but for everyone else out there, or maybe your idea has changed.
It's still the same. So my daughter is super excited and has never been to Disneyland. And we only live 6 hours from Disneyland. So I'm definitely going to take her for her 5th birthday in March.
Awesome. So that would definitely help go toward that. All right. Are we getting her?
Yes. Let's read some comments. I feel so bad, but she's ready and she's trying to get in. So I feel like it blocked her IP address.
Can we just FaceTime her or something?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Nobody's going to be able to see her though.
Yeah, we'll just hold it right here.
Okay. All right. I'm going to FaceTime her. Here we go. Let's use video.
Oh boy.
Ow.
All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Michelle. We have no idea what's going on. All right. Here's Michelle, everybody. Some reason she got kicked off, but we're going to try to do this so that you can hear her. So, Michelle, we have some questions for you. Can you share a bit about your creative process and how you approached the challenge?
Oh, so I am a sucker for hardware. And so what I do is like I buy my hardware first and then I find the piece to fit it. So when I heard the challenge was coming, I was like, "Oh, this is a perfect candidate for this awesome Italian provincial dresser." I was like, and I have the perfect hardware to do it, but I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as envision. And then I actually found inspiration from, if you guys follow Amanda at Easy on the Eyes Custom Furniture, and she did a similar piece, and it was just stunning. So I wanted to do something similar, but switch up the wood grain and the color. And that was that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, what were your biggest challenges that you faced during this project and how did you overcome them?
Oh, girl, shoot. There are a lot of challenges with this project. I literally wanted to burn this piece down, but I kept going. So the first one was I didn't share in my reel that I went back and forth with stripper and scraping and sanding. And I swear every time I use stripper, like I end up hating it more. I'm hoping one day I'll master the art of stripping, but like scraping is stripping, so that took a while. And then my first design that I created, I like look back